recorded in a while. Okay. So we're just going to come up tall on our mat. Okay, so first just some wide stance here, and we're just going to take some breaths with some movement. We're just going to do a big inhale, reach up, and then bend the knees, come down. And then as you start to come up, add a lean over to one side and then come down. So we're getting some movement into the lateral side of the body. We'll do one more reach each direction. And then we're going to stay with that wide stance, and we're just going to do some rotations. You're going to rotate all the way down towards the ankles, hips moving with you. Arms can just kind of fling. All right, as you come forward, add some big rolls of the shoulders. And then add full sweep of the arms with that. And then let's reverse it. And then let the arms hang same directions with just the shoulder circle. All right, from here, big inhale, you're going to reach up, bend the knees quite a bit, come down, and then you're going to roll up. So we're adding some, again, additional movement of the spine, flexion, and then some rolling. Let's do one more time. And then on that last time that you roll up, stay nice and tall, toes pointing forward. We're going to really emphasize rolling our shoulders open. So we're going to turn the thumbs and actually face them back and face our pinky fingers kind of to the front here. You can close your eyes if you'd like. And I want you to just take a couple of really big, deep breaths. And each time that you take those deep breaths, feel your feet connect to the floor a little bit more. So feet press down into the floor, and then the rest of your spine is going to lengthen up. So feet pressing down, rest of the spine begins to lift up nice and tall here. See if with your next exhale, you can let your shoulders sink down towards the floor a little more. So let's take one more breath here, and on your exhale, drop your chin down towards your chest. And then let's begin to roll our head right to left. And then chin straight back down. And now lift and extend the chin up towards the ceiling. And then chin coming level. Okay, from here, we are going to grab our hand weights. And I don't know if any of you guys have different size of hand weights, but as we go through, feel free to, like, if you have harder ones, to go harder if you want. If you have lighter ones, to switch it up. So you can decide what size weights you want to have. So we're going to start to use them in some flowing movements. So we're going to start with toes facing forward. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with elbows bent, weights just right by our side. And we're going to do a fly up, a fly back down, straight spine, halfway up, or halfway down, then come up. Chair pose, 2 rows. Stand up. Okay, so elbows bent, weights are the heads of weights are up. You're gonna have that fly come up, come back down, flip the hands back, halfway down, come up, chair pose, 2 rows. All right, stand it up. Fly, back down, deadlift, chair, row it. Okay, coming up, we're now gonna do 2 flies, 2 deadlifts, and then we'll do 3 rows, okay? So 2 flies. We got 2 deadlifts, pull the belly in, and then we got 3 rows. Okay, repeat. When you get into that chair pose, get your weight in your heels and stick your butt way back. Okay, last time through this series. And up. Okay, we're gonna repeat that 2 more times. We're gonna again add 1 more onto each one. So now we have 3 of our flies coming up. After that 3rd one, right into that deadlift, 3. And now we got 4 rows. Pinch the shoulder blades. Coming up. All right, repeat that. 3, 3, and 4. All right, good. Waist is at your side. We're gonna just, right here, heel lifts, up and down. Press the ball of the foot into the mat. Anchor through your big toe. Do 4, 3, 2, last one. Okay, from here we're gonna build onto that sun salutation. So this time what we're gonna do is we're gonna do bicep curl, press up, back to your shoulders, and then from here, you're going to bend the knees, come down, weights are gonna come down, okay? And then I'll tell you from there what to do. So it's gonna be bicep curl, press up, hands to the shoulders, bicep curl down, bend the knees, left foot is gonna step back. Okay, so you're in a low runner's lunge here. So anchor your weight into your feet, and we're gonna do one arm up, other arm. Then from here, hands come back down. Now you have the choice. You can either hold onto your weights and you're gonna step back in downward facing dog. Or if you don't like that, you can roll the weights out to the side, downward facing dog. Okay, so you can decide where you wanna be here. Take and walk out your downward facing dog a little bit. So just bend and straighten the knees here. All right, then from here, let's take and lean forward into our plank position. Okay, so again, your hands might be on your weights. Next breath, drop down towards your knees. You're gonna roll your weights out to the side. And then from here, come all the way down onto the belly. Gaze will be down, but you're gonna lift your heart up off the floor. Next breath, tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. The left foot is going to step up in between your hands. You're gonna roll those weights back in, and we're gonna go right back into that row, bringing the weights right to the armpit. Weights are gonna come down, and you can actually flip your weights up onto their heads. You're gonna step up, so you're in a halfway lift here. Okay, so spine is straight, and we're gonna bend the knees a little bit. And then from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna release, come up, just right here. Last time. Now from here, sit back, grab your weights, so in a chair pose, and then stand up. We've got 4 chair poses right here. So down and up. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, it's kind of a long series, so we'll see if we can remember. We'll see if I can remember all that. So bicep curl, press. Back to shoulders, bicep curl down, bend the knees down, left foot back. You're gonna add a row, so we'll do 2 on each side. Then we'll step back, downward facing dog. We'll come into plank. We'll come down onto our knees. You can again take those weights out to the side. We're gonna do a little bit of a back bend. And then we'll tuck back into down dog. Left foot's then gonna come up. We'll roll those weights back in. Again, got 2 rows each side. We'll step it up. You'll flip your weights onto the tops of the heads. And then we have 4 here, 4 releases, down and up. After that 4th one, we have those 4 chair poses. Okay, last one, stand up here. We're gonna flow through that one more time, but we're gonna just add a couple of the bicep curls at the top. So we're gonna do 3 of them. So bicep curls, more like a hammer curl, I should say. Press up, down. So that's 1, 2, 3, all the way down into that lunge. Okay, add those rows or leave them if you don't want to do any more rows. Then you got down dog. And then plank, all the way down to the belly. Little bit of a back bend as you arch up. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, back to that row. Stepping it up. 4 lifts and lowers. And then 4 chair pose. Great, coming up to standing tall, waist just at your side. You're gonna lean to one side, obliques on the opposite side, gotta contract to pull you up. Switch. Good, we got 1 more time each side. Okay, then we've got heel lifts. We've got 8 of them. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. You're going to bend your knees and you're going to come into a forward fold. You can let go of your weights and grab elbow for elbow. Okay, so we're going to just rest here for a few breaths. So allow the next and your next exhale to bring your chin in towards your chest, kind of tuck it in, lengthen out the back side of the neck. And then you can start to work how deep you want to come into this forward fold. So each exhale, just allowing the upper body to soften you more and more down. Let's take 2 more nice deep breaths here. And then on that last deep breath, you're going to bend your knees, grab your weights, come up to standing. Okay, so from here, we're going to go into crescent lunge. So we're going to start with right foot forward, left foot is going to come back. Okay, and we're going to start just first with down and up right here. You can decide how far you want to take this down. If you want to tap this back knee. 2 more. Great. From here, keep that front knee bent. Hands are going to come 90-degree angles. We're going to press up. Elbows are going to come to our sides. Press up. So elbows tap right to that rib and up. So keep bending into this front knee. We got 3 more. Here's 3, 2, last one. Great. Hands are going to come down. From here, you're going to turn towards the side and get yourself into warrior 2 footing. Okay, so warrior 2. Front knee is going to stay bent. And then what we're going to come into is a bicep curl right here. So elbows right next to the side of the body. We have 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to straighten the front leg. Okay, so now we're in triangle pose. So both legs are going to be straight. We're going to use this bottom weight like a yoga block, or some of you don't need to use it like a yoga block. It's going to be up to you. We're going to take it down, and you can bring it onto the head. The opposite arm is going to go straight up, and it's just going to hold. Okay, so you have to, this upper arm has to find a way to stabilize, and then you're using the obliques to help hold you there. Two more breaths. You're going to bring this weight down, bend into the front knee. You're going to take hands down, step back, down dog. And then from here, walk your hands back towards your feet. So now you're in a forward fold. And then from here, you can either grab the weights with you if they're near you, or just forget about them. And you're going to roll yourself up, come back up to standing. Okay, so we're going to repeat that to the other side. So grab your weights. You lost them. Left foot forward this time, right foot back. So crescent lunge. We'll first start with knee drops. Last one. Okay, so now you're back to those elbows look like W's. Okay, you're gonna press up, come back to W's. Front knee, keep bending into it. 2 more. Okay, last one. Open it up into warrior 2. Got that bicep curl. Two more. Okay, straightening that front leg. We got that triangle pose now. Hold here. Now, as much as it's tempting to kind of dump all your weight into this bottom hand, try to have the hand be light so that you're really getting the stomach muscles working here. Good, one more breath. Rotate the weight down, low lunge. And then this time, we're just gonna step it back into child's pose. So once you get into child's pose, you can do a couple of different arm variations. If you wanna do palms rotating up, or if you want to stretch out triceps, we haven't done a ton of tricep work, we will in a little bit. You can bring hands, palms together, hands behind the back of your neck, and then bring the elbows towards the face. Okay, we're gonna stay here for a couple of more breaths. This is our little reset before we go into another round of that leg work. Letting the breath slow down just a little bit. And then with your next breath, start to make your way into downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then whenever you're done with that 3rd breath, you can start to walk your hands back towards your feet into a forward fold. And then you can roll all the way back up to stand. All right, once we've gotten back up to the top, you're gonna grab your weights again. And we're gonna find our way back to that crescent lunge. So right foot is gonna be our front leg. Okay, let's talk about the back leg for just a moment. Really try to get onto the ball of the foot, heel lifted, as you do these dips, okay? So let's, right here, these dips up and down. Two more. Okay, now, front knee's gonna bend. We're gonna come into some tricep work. So weights overhead, bring the weights together. I'm gonna turn forward. Weights together here, and it's gonna be behind your head, up and down. Okay, you guys keep doing that. I'm gonna speak to something for a moment. So as you're doing it, watch your ribs, because you don't wanna do a really big back bend and compress your vertebrae. You wanna drop your ribs down. So your back should be in a little bit of a curve, but not a really big one, okay? 2 more with your tricep dips. Okay, arms in front of you. You're gonna turn sideways into that warrior 2 stance. Okay, instead of doing bicep curls, we're gonna do a movement for the deltoid, right at the top of the shoulder. So we're gonna go to shoulder height, drop down. And if you have a heavy weight, I have a pretty heavy weight. It's kind of hard to do with heavy weight. So if you have opportunity to shift to lighter weight, do that. We got 2 more. 1 more. Then we'll straighten that leg and we'll go right into that triangle hold. And if you're able to, maybe you even let this bottom hand hover, not holding on to anything. Good. From here, bend the knee. Instead of going into downward facing dog, we're just gonna pick up this weight, come up, and then you're gonna just alter your feet and kind of get some spinning of the ankles going here. We're just gonna rotate over to the other side or step up, depends on where you are in your mat. Okay, let's go back to those dips of the knee. Two more. Okay, back leg straight. We're still up though, the heel's still up here. Hands behind the back, tricep dips. Two more. Okay, coming down, open that up into our warrior two. Okay, instead of doing the flies, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 90-degree angles, not flies, the delt raises. We're gonna do flies. So 90-degree angles, you're gonna come in, open up, come in, open. Keep bending into that front knee. Two more. Last one. Good. Take it down. Front leg, left leg is going to straighten. Come into triangle hold. Next breath. As release, pick up that bottom weight. You're going to come up. Walk your feet in a little bit. Toes are going to turn out. Heels are going to come in here. Take your weights just by your torso. And what we're going to do is we're going to just come down and up right here. So into horse pose and lift. Yeah, four more here. So here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm just switching to one weight so it's easier for me to talk and hold a weight. Okay, you're going to come down. One heel is going to lift. You're going to come up and down here. Heel stays lifted. Three more. So here's 3, 2, 1. Heel down. Other side lifts up and down. Here we got 3 more. So here's 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs for a moment. Okay, you can either hold the weight by the head or you can still stay center. Up to you. You're going to come into bent knees and we're going to do a rotation. So in this rotation, you got to draw your tailbone. You kind of got to tuck your tailbone under and come into a flat back. So you don't want to be sticking your butt out. You want to be in a flat back here. Yeah. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Come back in. You're going to take the weight on one arm. Okay, we're going to do oblique work just on this one side. So down and up. You can also put your hand behind your ear. I feel like that's a little bit more challenging on the oblique, so you decide. So we have 4, 3, 2, last one. Switch sides. Yeah, 4 more. So here's 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, holding your weight out in front of you, however you want to hold it. We got calf raises. So we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. You can let go of your weight. And then we're going to come into rest, into a forward fold. So we're going to sweep the arms up, and then we're going to release all the way into a forward fold. Grab your elbows. All right, so big inhalation here, and then as you exhale, go like a big sigh in your forward fold. You can do that again. Big inhale in, and as you exhale, sigh it out, bringing again the chin in towards the throat a little bit, letting the back side of the neck soften. We're gonna stay here for, I don't know, 30 seconds or more. And so as we're in this, you're gonna constantly be gauging where your body can go deeper. So maybe you have a little bit of bend in the knees, and as you breathe, you can start to take that bend away and start to straighten your legs a little more. We're gonna take probably at least 2 more breaths here in this little reset. And then with your next breath, as we come up out of this forward fold, we're actually gonna take our hands onto our shins. We're gonna lift halfway up, and then exhale, fold it back down. And now start to roll all the way back up, coming up to standing. Just let your blood pressure kind of reset here, just making sure that we're not lightheaded as we move on. Okay, we're gonna go into a couple of minutes of some just cardio repetition here. So I'm gonna get my timer. And then you can be on your mat or off your mat, depending on what works for you. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're gonna start with just I'd love for you to do high knees, but if you don't like high knees, a low march, okay? So you can decide which one you wanna do. So we're gonna start here. So either high knees or a low march. Just quick movements. Try to be light on your toes. I don't know if you can hear yourself hitting the surface of your arm, but if you can hear like a pound, pound, a thud, thud, think of lifting up more through the top of your head so the impact is lighter on your joints. Okay, we got 15 seconds yet. Lift the knees up a little bit higher if you're doing the high knee version. 3, 2, 1. You're gonna go straight into heel kicks. So if you wanna, again, do quick, do like a double time. Okay, you got 10 seconds left, so keep going here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Side steps. Real quick though. Real quick. And maybe it's even a shuffle step. Side to side. Keep going. Not gonna tell you how long we got left yet, because it kind of seems like a long time. All right, 5 seconds. All right, next one, little hop, side to side, side to side. Keep going with that lateral movement, so outside legs when you're getting tired. Ten seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Heel taps really quick. Heel taps. Almost done. Five seconds to go. We got one more round. All right, from here, you're gonna do tap backs. So tap backs real quick. I'm almost like skiing. Okay, you got 15 seconds left. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step touch. Low. All right. That was 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes of continual movement. So well done. Kind of cool down a little bit here. Or get our heart rate down a little bit. Keep step touching. And Matt has run away. Okay, we're gonna do slow heel touches in front. Do a wide heel touch. Okay, toe touch back. And then go to a low or slow march. So lift the knee up, the other one. So in just a moment here, we're gonna go into a balancing movement. It's one that we've been kind of working on periodically, is going from something high intensity and then trying to balance. And the ability for our body to go quickly from a lot of movement to stationary is very challenging to the nervous system in particular. So we're gonna see if we can do that in just a moment. Okay, so we're gonna plant the left foot, right leg's gonna come up, hold, turn the palms forward, rotate the thumbs back a little bit. And if this hurts your hip flexors, draw your knee down. So you can grow a little taller. And then plant that foot, switch other side. Planting that foot, hands together at your heart. We're gonna hinge forward as we take the right leg back, warrior 3. Flex that back foot. Imagine pressing it into the wall. Come up, switch legs. and then come down. We're going to take right hand behind us. We're going to do a tricep stretch here, so fingertips can go onto that elbow. So lengthen up tall. With this bent elbow, I want you to imagine that the elbow can extend way up to the ceiling. So you're reaching that elbow up, but at the same time, you're reaching it back. And now with your next breath, you're gonna lean across, keep reaching, keep imagining that elbow was really long, like another foot longer than it is. Reach away, and now start to push your hip to the side. Breathe, because you're gonna wanna hold your breath because the diaphragm's a little twisted. Good, come up, shake that arm out if you need. Okay, opposite arm. Again, this elbow lift up and back. To bring the head back just a little bit, because sometimes we hang the head forward. And now let's add that side bend, popping the hip out. Good, come on. Arms are gonna go wide and just reach back, pinch the shoulder blades together. Okay, from here, lift the chin up just a little bit and let your sternum slightly lift. And then you're gonna do a big wrap all the way around. See if you can try to catch the edges of your shoulder blade. So see if you can walk back and catch the edges of your shoulder blade. And I want you to take big, deep breaths and see if you can breathe into your fingertips. Okay, arms are gonna go wide again, but this time, let's actually interlock them behind us. And then reach the fingertips down towards the floor. So pinch the shoulder blades together. And then take and do a few lift and lowers. The hands. Good, from here, relax. Now I didn't tell you guys this, so hopefully you can remember. Think about which arm was on the top when you first did this one, and you're gonna switch it. Again, reach back towards your shoulder blade, and then drop your shoulders away from your ears, big deep breaths. Okay, one more breath, and release. Okay, arms are going to come all the way up, and then you're gonna release all the way down. So you can grab elbow for elbow again, if you want. And we're gonna change up this forward fold just a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our right leg and we're gonna cross it behind the left and see if you can kind of edge that foot forward and line your pinky toes up. So hips are still forward, and then release all the way down. Okay, before you cross the other legs, I want you to just go back to uncross, both toes facing forward, and release. Okay, now let's cross that left behind. Again, try to inch the pinky toes so that they line up, and then release. And in this, you might even want to shift your hips forward a little bit. That might get, again, a greater stretch onto the backs of the legs if you kind of pull the hips a little bit more towards the front of the foot. And then next breath, uncross the legs here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bend the knees and we're going to step the right foot back, and you can come down onto that right knee. Okay, so we're going to do a little stretch for our hip flexors here. So before we even get into it, one of the things I want you to notice, and you can kind of put your hands on your hips, is one hip elevated higher than the other. So right now, that's happening in my body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to even out my hips. So I had this one hiked up a little bit. I'm going to even them out. Tailbone's going to stay drawn down a little bit. And then I'm going to just just kind of slide my body forward a little bit. So I get a stretch right in the front hip flexors. So you can decide to stay right here, or you can add your arm extending up and maybe reaching across, or even reaching back a little bit. You can explore where this, again, will kind of radiate up into this whole front side of the body. Next breath, as that hand comes down, we're going to go into a hamstring stretch. So we're going to slide the hips back, and we're going to let the front toes come up. So when you slide the hips back, sometimes the hips go like this. Your hips should go straight back towards the heel. And then while we're in this hamstring stretch, if you want to roll the toes out or in, because you might feel tension in one part differently. All right, from here, let's step that leg back. Okay, we're switching over to the other side. So again, get your hip even out if one's kind of hiked up a little bit. And then bend a little bit more into this front knee, tailbone is down. And then you could add that arm reaching across or back if you'd like. And then with your next exhalation, as you release, front leg's going to come into that hamstring stretch. And again, you can change this up any way you'd like. As you release, knee is going to come down. We're going to do a rotation for the upper part of the spine. So we're going to take and move our left hand into the middle, kind of right in between the knees here. And then we're going to take the right arm up. Hold here. Shine your heart towards the right. And then let's release, take it to the other side. And release. Okay, we're gonna take and have a seat. We're gonna get down onto our backs. So as you roll down onto your back, you can do a bunch of different things. It's all gonna depend upon the needs of your spine. So you get to choose kind of the next couple of minutes of your practice. So you might want knees just into the chest. You might want to circle the knees one direction, circle them the other direction, or rock the knees back and forth. Or Some of you guys might want to do twists. So you might want to keep your feet on the floor and do some twisting motions. Some of you even might want to do like one knee hugging into the chest as the other leg is long. So again, we're just going to take like a minute and you're going to just listen to the promptings of your body and what do you need for the remainder of this practice? What is your spine need here? And so you're just gonna kind of make this your own for the next minute here. Because you know the needs of your body way better than I do. I'm not in your body, so you can tap into what your body needs. We'll do like another 30 seconds or so of just adding whatever movement you need. Then with your next breath, start to elongate your legs all the way down towards the floor, and then extend your arms up overhead. Palms are going to turn up, but let the back side of your hands rest onto the floor. So now as you probably made that big extension of the body, for some of you, your back really arched up and your lower ribs and in the kind of the middle part of your back isn't even near the floor anymore. So I want you to take some intentional breaths, breathing into the belly, and we're going to try to see if we can let these torso muscles let go to get us out of that really rounded back. And then from here, you're going to lift your left heel an inch off the floor, and you're going to press your left heel away from you. Right hand is going to lift an inch off the floor as well, and you're going to reach your right fingertips away. So you're elongating the body away from each other. Your next exhale, relax that side of the body. You might feel now that you're unequally elongated. And now let's switch that to right leg and left arm. Again, reach away. And then next breath, relax. You can bring your arms to the side of your body, turn your palms upward, and allow the thumbnail to drip down to the floor a little bit. So it's kind of like the same thing we did when we were standing, when I had you guys turn your pinky fingers forward more and your thumbs back. We're going to try to do that same action, laying on our back, to get our shoulders into external rotation, which is a rotation we don't do very often. Your next exhale, just sink the shoulders down into the mat. Allow your chin to come down a little bit and in slightly. Elongate the back side of the head and the neck. Allow your teeth to separate here. Lips will stay together. Trying as best you can to breathe in and out through your nose. Each breath, just allowing the body to settle into the floor. Begin to notice the clutter of the mind that might be creeping in. utilizing your breath as a tool to continue to let go of that mind chatter. Trying to find contentment right in this space with no need to move out of it, either in mind or body. And contentment is really hard right now. It seems like everything is vying for our attention, and we're always looking for the next thing. So when the mind and the body becomes restless, can you stay present, stay content to just be in this space? Then with your next breath, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes a little bit. Maybe slowly starting to bend the knees. You can roll onto one side, and as you do that, pause for about 2 breaths here before you bring yourself up into a seated posture. Just giving the body time to adjust from going flat, and try not to jar the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system as we come up to seated. And then to end our practice today, we're going to inhale our hands all the way up above us. And then we're going to bring our hands together and place them right by our forehead. And we're just going to try to bring contentment into our mind. Teaching our mind to be content. And then bring your hands towards your heart. So we're going to take a breath here. Reminding ourselves to have contentment within our hearts. Hands releasing down. And you guys can have a